Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Yalla Salesforce. Thank you very much for joining us today. We will continue our journey with Yalla Salesforce Trail Max. Over the last couple sessions, we started the new chapter with Salesforce Administrator, understanding more about business process automation, understanding the flow builder. We covered a lot of great foundation for the flow builder basics. We went through different type of flows, stream flow, record type flow, record trigger flows. And then we, in the data and action inflows, we took it to the next level. We started to do actions like sending an email, configuring reusable email alerts and email templates. And then we took it with the custom metadata. How can we utilize custom metadata? And we double clicked on what custom metadata means, then to the custom labels, and finally to the custom permissions. Today, we're going to continue our journey with flow builder logic. In this module, we will be covering more the decision element. We will be digging more into it, understanding more about variables, understanding more about formulas, and how can we construct dynamic formulas, and so on. Awesome. So we're going to start our journey in here, understanding more about decisions. So we are talking about a scenario where we are talking about case type. Based on the case type and the contact details, we will be deciding what will be the severity for that case. So if I have a case type equal downtime, that means it's going to be severity number 0. And if I have a case type of usability, I will need to differentiate between the contact is a VIP or the contact is not a VIP. So if you notice in here, we are thinking about the problem statement as just in English, put it in a flow chart diagram, which will determine how can we translate those business requirements and business value into a working solution. So let's jump to it. So we're going to create this specific flow. The end goal is this, just to determine what will be the severity. This how it will look like. So I will have a new case, record trigger flow based on the case, and then I will have a decision based on the type and based on the contact, and then we will be determining what will be the severity. All right, so let's jump to the hands-on, and then we will come back into the module as we usually do in order to cover anything that we might already be missing. All right, so the first thing is I need to go to the case object, and in the priority field, add those fields. So I'll go in there, and in order to go for the case data model, I'll go to the object manager, and I'll then write case. And within the case, I will say fields and a relationship. And in here, I will say priority. Within the priority, I will need to add extra values in here. So within new, I will be putting severity 0, severity 1, severity 2, and finally severity 3. Awesome. So now I have 4 new values added to my priority pick list. Same thing, we will need to go for the type. This is what will determine mainly the decision. This is the result, but this is what will determine the decision. The type for the case. So I will have type pick list field, and I'll go in here, create brand new 2 pick list values, which one is the downtime, the other one is the usability. Now I have the data model is ready for me. The next step is to create a case. And what we need to do, based on the criteria of the type and the contact, we will be updating the severity. So based on that, that means a case record will be created or updated, something related to a record. Accordingly, if I need to do a flow based on a record change, this has to be a record trigger flow. So new flow in here, I will say trigger, and it's a record trigger flow. That's what we are looking for. All right, so which object we are talking about? We are talking about case. So in here, we have a case, accept the default trigger configuration and entry condition. We'll keep everything as is. So just when the record is created, and there is no extra conditions that they need to set in here. Pass the field up If you remember, we discussed it before about fast field versus action repeat. And we discussed that this is before the record is saved and this is after the record is saved. So it's all about this database commit. Do we need to do it before or we need to do after? Then we need to ask the question, do we need to update the same triggering record or do we need to create related records? So we need to wait until this ID, Salesforce ID generated, and then we will go for the related record for it. Or we need to send an action. So if you have a related record or do you need to send an action, that means you will do it after the record committed to the database. If you need to change the triggering record, just go straight to the fast field update. And this is where we are. So we need to do it fast field update because we need to update the severity or the priority for the same case that triggered that flow. All right. So we need, after that, if we need to take a decision, we need to add a decision element. Why we need a decision element? Because we need to determine based on the type and the contact what will be the priority. So check case details. This will be the decision name. And then I will need to define multiple outcomes. So we need to have certain conditions, and based on those conditions, we will be determining the outcome. So this is exactly what we're gonna determine. And the more outcomes we add, it's like Salesforce flows will determine, will the first outcome satisfy the condition? If it did, if it satisfied the condition, it will just go out. So just to execute the outcome that satisfied the condition with the very first outcome. All right. So in here, define the outcomes, outcome order, leave new outcome selected. Okay. Under outcome details, the first one is the severity 0. So this is the very first one. To create a new outcome, you need to add plus. So the next one will be severity 1. And then I will add plus severity number 2. And finally, the default, I need to name it severity number 3. All right. So we done all of these different outcomes. So we ended up having the same exact decision flow that I have severity 0, severity 1, severity 2, and severity 3. Now it's still complaining because I need to define a condition for every one of those outcomes. So let's go through those decisions. Build a decision element, and we said in the case object in the priority field, we need to set all of these values based on the case type. All right, so create a record. We were already in here, and then we are saying under outcome select severity 0, we need to say the case type equals downtime. So in here, I'll go here for the very first severity 0, and I need to say in here triggering case the type equals downtime, because we had this in the flowchart diagram. So this is regarded the contact. If it's downtime, just to go straight to severity number 0. Starting from next outcomes, we will be starting to considering the contact description. All right. So then second one, which is severity 1, I will say triggering case, same thing, dot type, but this time is not the time, it's a usability. But if it's usability, I need to make sure as well that triggering case, but this time I need to go for the related contact to see the contact descriptions, and I will need to say if it contains VIP. And this is exactly what we are doing in here. So contains VIP. Now this is the next one. All right. So this is the usability. The severity number 2, we are saying if it's exactly the same usability, but it's not VIP. So do I need to mention the contact description? The answer is no. Because it's a VIP, it will straight go to the severity 1. But for severity 2, I can just say triggering case to type, and it's equal usability. So that means if it's a VIP, gonna be severity 1. If it's not VIP, it will automatically come in here, say it's a usability, accordingly it will be severity number 2. Finally, the default, if it didn't satisfy the downtime or the usability, it will go straight to the severity 3. Any questions? So far, so good? Awesome. All right. So as we agreed before, whatever we are doing in here, nothing happened to Salesforce. Salesforce, yes, fired this great flow. It has all of these decisions, but without the data element that we learned last time, we did nothing. So the next step will definitely be an update records, which is a data element. All right. So in here, I need to go for the severity, and I need to say in here, I need to do an update records. And within the update triggering, I will set the priority to severity 0. This will be what I'm trying to achieve. Accept the auto-generated API, use the case record that triggered the flow, and then scroll for the field select priority. For the value, select severity 0. All right, so all what I need to do, I will say in here, so it's the same record that triggered the flow. I'm updating the same one, and I don't have too many options in here. Why? Because I am in the fast field update. So I need to put it in here for the severity 0. Mission accomplished for this branch. The next one is I need to copy that element. I will need to paste it in here, and I'll need to paste it in there. Perfect. So in here, set the priority to severity 1. This is all what we need to do. So I'll do this, and as soon as I go out, it's gonna update the API. That's awesome. And when I need to do here, I need to put it to the severity number 1. Perfect. And in here, I need to do the same thing. So within the set severity 2, I will be deleting all of these great stuff. Copy is easier. It's just I need to update the label, and the new API will be generated. So just make sure to clear it out before you start editing. Accordingly, it will auto-reflect the new one. Same thing in here. I need to clear out this guy. I need to remove all the copy off, and I'll need to say set the priority to number 3, and I'll take it to the description. It will automatically update in here, and I'll put this one to the severity number 3. Make sure when you do that, don't focus only on the labels, and make sure you update as well the content. So we are in here, severity 1, it's severity 1, severity 2, I need to put it to the severity 2, and severity 3 is severity 3. All right, so we did all of these great updates. We did all of that. We ended up with the same flow, and let's save it. And that's about it. You should, your flow should exactly look like this one. All right. What the name of the flow? Let me find out. Save. Set case priority. Okay. That's it. We made it happen. So now when I have the case, if I have a brand new case and I just activated this one, let me go in here, go for the case object. Do I have the case in here? Yes, cases. I will need to create a new case. And all what I need to do, I will be creating the status, doesn't matter. All what I need to do is the type. If it's a downtime, the priority for this one should be severity 0 regardless the contact. So I need to fill all the required information. I'll put phone in here and I'll hit save. And when I go for the details, if I have the priority here in the, it became severity 0 without doing anything. All right, so let me go for a new one, and I will go and create, make sure that this contact has on its description. Do I have the description here in the page layout? Description, yep. I will say this guy is VIP. And as soon I go and create a new case, same thing, I will be creating a new case, setting the case origin. I will say now this time is not downtime, it's usability, but I need to specify the contact name, which is Rose, because I just set it to VIP. And once I hit save, the severity should be severity 1. All right. So we tested the flow, we just created. The other way of achieving the same thing is rather than having multiple updates, you can have assignment, which we learned last time, and we can set this priority to different values, and we can have one update element at the very end. Any questions? So far, so good? Lovely. All right, so let's cover what do we have here in the module and wrap up this unit with a challenge. So this module is assuming that we already familiar with the flow builder. We covered the flow builder basics and data and actions. So when the flow run, it's like a train. It goes from up to down. And with the decision, it does consider if this outcome satisfies the condition. If satisfies the condition, it will just go from here, go straight to the end. If it didn't satisfy, go to the next, go to the next. So the order here matters. And you can play with the order in here. You will find that this is, you can just move it up and down and so on. All right, so coverage and loop get what they need to go. Flow builder allow you to build automation that does the same thing, this path and the branch and merge as you fit. All right, the power of it. Some automation use case require the automation in different ways for different situations. Let's take a look at an example, and this is what we covered in here. If it's a downtime, it's severity 0. If it's a VIP, severity 1. If it's not VIP, that means I don't need even to say it's not VIP, because if it didn't satisfy that and it's still usability, that means it's by default, it's not a VIP. That's why we are doing. Just to think about it, it's like if then else. This is what we do in the programmatic way of thinking, but it's all about now in the flows, it's declarative. It's just put a flow chart and you can easily translate the flow chart into a flow. And this is what we covered. Create the decision elements. We talked about different outcomes and how the order matters, and when we satisfy the first one, it's gonna skip anyway the remaining outcomes, and we did that in every tiny detail. Awesome. If no questions, let's jump to the challenge. We need to create a flow. The end goal for it is to create opportunity products. Depending on the opportunity name, we'll get records from the price book, the product itself, and we need to get the price book entry. Accordingly, we'll end up creating opportunity product. So let's understand more what is the opportunity and the opportunity product and so on. So I will jump from here to the setup, and I will open schema builder. When we are in the sales mindset mode, we have the opportunity, and then we relate this opportunity to certain products within the company. What is the price book? Part of the sales cloud. We need to put like the product catalog, and we need to set the prices. I might have price catalog for the east side different than the west side. Accordingly, I need to have a price book for the west versus east, which will allow me for each product, I can have a different price based on the region or based on the price book. Accordingly, Salesforce allowed us to do that by we have opportunity and we have opportunity product. But as well, we have something called the price book and the price book entry. So when we put all of these together and say, let's auto layout. So let's see, I have price book, I have price book entry, I have an opportunity here, and I have an opportunity product. This is how the data model works. All of what we need to do, we will, based on the opportunity, we will be going and get the default price book, and for this specific product, we will go for the price book entry, so we can get the price, and then we're gonna create the opportunity product, creating it, relating it to the price book entry, and putting the price. This is the goal. So let's jump into it. We are talking about opportunity, so we need to create a record triggered opportunity. So I'll go back in here. Let's keep this just in case, new flow, and I will say we need to create a record trigger flow. This is based on which object? We are all talking about opportunity now. A record is created, and everything remains the same. What do I need? So first, do we need to have it before or after? Definitely after, because we are saying we need to create a related record. Whenever we say related, that means it has to be after save. All right, so in here, so let's get, after that, we need to get records. And from get records, we need to go, we just mentioned that we need to go for the price book to get the default price book, because I want to get the price book entry. Price book entry will require to have a price book ID. All right, so the next one is we will need to get the price book, and I need to get the default price book. So I will go in here. We are missing G, so I will be putting G. All right, so get price book, and I need from which object? I need from price book. All what I need, name equals standard price book. All right, so name equals standard price book. Keep the default values as is. Then I need, based on the opportunity name, I need to determine what will be the product we are talking about. Is it 1500 kW or 2000, and so on. All right, so we will need to have a decision element, label, check opportunity name, and we will be determining it based on the name. So decision, check opportunity name, and the first outcome we will be doing in here, 1500K. And then when the name contains 1500, so I need to say in here, and this will be for sure the triggering opportunity, and this is for the name, and it is going to be contains, and it contains 1500. This is the first outcome. The second outcome is 200 kW. All right, so I will be adding another one saying it's 200 kW, and I will say triggering opportunity dot name contains 2000. And finally, the default outcome label is none. So I'll go in here and say none. All right, so we added all the conditions we need. On the 1500, I need to go to the product to get the product that had this 1500. The name contains 1500. So I'll go in here in the very first branch. I will need to say get me that record. And in the get record, what do I need to do? Get 1500 products. Okay. So and from here, I will be going into the product. Let me add in here just to have the visibility as well, where the product plays a role. So we have this auto layout, which will allow me to see the entire thing. So the product is the one is stitch, the opportunity product with the price book entry, and this is the core object for the product, which will allow us to relate it to an opportunity and allow it to relate it to the price book through the price book entry. All right, so back to the flow. We were in here. I am saying where name contains 1500. Got it? All right, so name contains 1500. The same thing on the 1500. All right, so we get record element after that one. We need to go to the price book entry as we were just discussing. All right, so I'm in here, another get record. And within this get record, I will say I need to get 1500 price book entry. And it is going to be price book entry. What do I need to, based on which condition? I have the product and I have the price book. So I will say where the price book ID equals the get price book from get this guy, and I need just the price book ID, and I need to say and the product ID equals the get 1500 product from get 1500, and again I need the product ID, and let's make sure that this is what they wanted. So price book and entry ID, price book ID equal price book ID, and get 1500, the same thing. All right, so we did all of these great stuff. All what we need at the very end, what do we need? we need to create at the end, create record. We need to create opportunity product. So I'll come in here, say create records, and it has to be labeled create 1500 opportunity product records. Okay. And then I will need to create from a record variable. I didn't construct any record variable, so I'm assuming we will go manually in here. Perfect. So we'll go an opportunity menu. In order to do it, this a record variable, we need to put an assignment and start putting all of that in a variable and then push it to the database. But since we didn't do that and it wasn't required, we will go straight to manually and we'll be putting in here. We need to create opportunity product object. What do we need to set? We need to set the opportunity ID, and this is going to be the triggering opportunity ID. This is going to be the triggering opportunity, and this is going to be the opportunity ID itself. We need to set the price book entry for sure, because we did all of this great effort to get the price book entry ID. So we will be putting in here price book entry ID, and this will be get price book entry. And I just need the record ID as well. What else? We need to set the quantity, and the quantity will be 1. And finally, we need to set the price, total price, and this is in the price book entry. So total price, and this will be 1500 from the price book entry, and I need the price. Awesome. So we did all of that for the 1500. We need to do exactly the same for the 2000. How can we do that? Do we need to go for the same exact thing, adding element by element and so on? No. Salesforce allowed us to do this great magic. So we have it in here. We selected all the elements and we did copy. And then I can come in here saying, shoot, paste all the 3. But now I need to do a lot of great things. So I need to go for the APIs, clear it out, make it 2000s, remove the copy, everything related to copy, I need to clear it out. All right, everything 1500, I need to put it 2000. In here, I need to do exactly the same thing. I need to go in there saying I am talking now 2000. And I'll copy this guy, put it in here. Nothing in here will be different because it's a price book now reflecting. No, there is in the product ID. I need to remove the reference for the 1500, and I need to reference the get 2000. So all what I need to do in here, I will say product from 2000, and I will put the product ID. What do I need to do in here? So it's the same thing. Remove the API, take it in here. It's the art of being lazy and productive, So it's a copy instead of doing everything from scratch. But make sure that you are update all the required things. So whenever we have 15, so price book entry came from the price book entry. The safest thing, I will just write 2000 in here, and I am saying it's from price book entry. This is what I'm setting, and then I will go for the ID, which is the record ID. Same thing for the total price. I don't need to get the price from the 1500. I need to get the price from the 2000. So, and it's coming from price in here, and then I will write the price, and it is going to be the best price. So we evolved all the copied version of the 1500. We made it now 2000. All right, so we've done all of this great stuff. All of what we need to do, add this, save it, and here we go. Save it and activate it. And let's test. So far, so good. Any questions? So we got from the opportunity that triggered that record. We utilized the name to get the product. We went to the price book. We got the price book. We have now the price book, which is the standard plus the product name. We can go for the price book entry. We need to go and create opportunity product using all the information we know, which are we can set the price now. We can set the price book entry. We can set the opportunity. We have all the information we are looking. Now we satisfied everything the Trailhead is looking for. All right, so let's jump to the next module. Any questions? Sounds perfect. Right. Set and change variable values. Now it's all about variables and how can we utilize the variables, and how about I need to have a conditional screen which tell me if the billing address is like, if I need to copy the shipping address, putting it into the billing address, or I need to specify. So I have conditional, but at the very end, the house is one. I need to fill this billing address. And if the billing address based on this selection, I need to end up there. So how can I set the billing address from two different branches without complicating the whole thing? It's all about utilizing the variable, because if you remember when we were discussing the variable, it's like a lunchbox which you can fill it with the same information you need, the same data type, that it's an address coming from here, coming from there, it doesn't matter. I just need to have this lunchbox, which I will fill it based on a business logic, and then at the end shoot it to the database. And this is what we're gonna be implementing together. So again, let's create the flow, see it in action, and then come back in here and fill any gaps. All right, so I'll go back in here. For the flows, we are done with this one. We are done with this one. Thank you very much. I'll be creating a new flow. This time, we were just saying I need to create a stream flow. We talked about the variables. The variables, I can pass a parameter if I need to put this stream flow in the, let's say, account object. And within the account object, I need to pass the account ID. How can I do that? You put in here, you are saying I need to create a variable of type text, and this has to be available for input. Can any name of the variable pass this record ID from the Lightning page to the screen flow? The answer is no. You need to have this specific keyword, record ID. So record ID has a special meaning that when you put this flow as an action within a Lightning page, Salesforce automatically gonna bind the Salesforce ID that triggered this specific screen flow, pass it to the screen flow. All right, so we are sitting in here, record ID as available for input, plus it has to have this specific name, which is the record ID. Done. All right, assume I have a record ID. Now I need to get this record details. So I need to get account data, knowing that I have the ID as an input parameter. So I need to go in here, saying where the account, and the ID for that account equals the record ID I'm passing to that specific screen flow. Now I got all the information. I just need the first record, and I store all the fields, because we know that the record ID is always unique. So there is no room for receiving multiple accounts. All right, now let's build this screen. So the next step is to build the screen flow. What this screen flow will look like. All right, so for the label, we will say enter address. From the component panel, drag a checkbox. So we need to say, we just mentioned that the end goal is, I need to ask the user whether you need to copy the billing address to the shipping address, or you need to enter your shipping address. And based on that, we're gonna take the decision. So for the label, use the billing address for the shipping address. And for the API, I need to put this. Don't need to have this very long one. Drag an address component. Now we allow the user to choose this. But if they, how about they don't want to copy? They want to put their own address. So we are dragging it, and we are saying this is screen shipping. So the API name. How about the label? It's going to be shipping address. Sounds perfect. The screen canvas should look like this. Does it? No, you don't have this header in there. So let's go in here and say configure header. I don't want a header. So now it's exactly like it. So I'm allowing the user to check that box. And in that scenario, that means the data source for the shipping address will be coming from the billing address, or I am asking the user to fill all the information they need. Now I need to know which direction the user picked. Accordingly, if I need to know and I need to decide, so that means it has to be a decision element. So I'll go for the decision element, and the decision element use billing address, select or not select. So this is the API, this is the label, and this is the outcome. So in the outcome, I will say it's selected. And now I need, you remember, back in the days when we were discussing that for every element and every field I added within this screen, Salesforce automatically created a variable for me. So I can say in here, based on the enter address, based on the use the billing address, if it's equals to true, because it's a Boolean, it's a checkbox. So if it's equals to true, that means I'll go in that direction. Otherwise, that means it's gonna be copying, so not selected. Those are the two conditions. Save the screen flow and set the shipping address. Save it, set the shipping address, and here we go. All right, so we have a lot of great stuff in here. All right, so now we need back to in here. So we need to say, use the billing address for the shipping address. So what I need to set is the shipping address based on the billing address. In order to do that, we need to set those variables. And in order to do that in the flow, we need to use the assignment elements. Assignment elements enable me to set values based on a variable, based on a screen, and so on. So use the billing address for the shipping address. That means what I need to set is the shipping address. So I'll be putting in here assignment. And I need to put the shipping address. So I will be putting in here, the variable will be all the shipping details, and it will be coming from the billing. All right, so let's go back in here into the assignment part, and I will say get billing address. This will be the name of the assignment. I need to set the shipping details. So I will get those shipping details from account from get, and I will be putting like shipping country. And I need to say shipping the postal code. So get account details shipping postal code. And I am assuming get account, and I need to put the shipping city. And finally, there is no city in here in the copy over, but that's fine. And then I will put the province and the street. Account shipping province, and finally get account shipping street. All right, so I'll be setting all of these values. From where I will need to get it from the billing, because I'm in the branch for the billing. So I will be doing exactly the same thing, but this time is billing country, and this time is billing postal code. Country, billing, shipping city, link city, get account, billing the province, and finally I will be doing get account, but this time is billing street. All right, so we filled all the information. I don't need to have a copy in here. Copy. Oh, yes, copy. It's another copy of which is I copied over. It's a copy of, I need to copy the billing address. All right, now we made it. It's gonna be exactly the same thing. I need to set the exact same variables, but this time I need to fill it from the screen. So set address from screen. All what I need to change now the API name, and now the variable will remain the same. I need to fill still the same shipping things, but rather than getting it from here, I will be getting it from the screen. So enter address, I will be saying it's from screen shipping, and this is the city value. And I need the same thing in here. Enter address, here, province. and in here is green, and I need the street, postal code, and finally I need the country. That's it. All right, save. We are good. What else? I just want to make sure everything in here. Okay, for some reason I lost it, so I will be going in here, get account, and I will get the billing state, and I will get account from here, billing street. Perfect. Save. We are all good in here. So we got all of these values either from this side or from that side, and we updated those values. Did we touch the record? The answer is no, because we agreed that in order to touch the database, you do all of your logic and manipulation and the decisions and looping and so on. But at the very end, you need to use data element. So we need to have an update account. So I will say, regardless you are coming from this direction or coming from that direction, I need to do an update account. Do I have a variable that I was manipulating? The answer is absolutely yes. We were saying still it's the same account that we are getting from the account from get account data. And then we changed that, use the billing address, percentage, shipping, and so on, or even coming from the other one, we updated the same content. So I have a record variable that holds this specific account, and that's about it. Any questions? So let's review. I passed the record ID, which is the account. I got all the details, which allowed me to get the billing and get the shipping and so on. We had a screen, and based on the selection, we are taking a decision. Do we need to copy it or set it? And then at the very end, we are hitting the database by the update account. So let's play debug. I'll go in here, get any accounts, and I will open an account. And let's see what are the values for the billing and shipping. So they are currently the same. So let's go and change the value. But we promised that we will be passing an account ID. So I'll be passing the account ID, which will enable them, Salesforce, to get all the details for that record since they are already copy over. So I will say street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the city is Oakville. And I will say it's a state, province, Ontario, and I'll be putting any postal code, and I will be saying the country is Canada. I will be hitting save. All right, so you'll find all the details in here got updated. If I came back in here, let's see, did the magic happened? The answer is yes. I have the street, I have the province, I have the city, and so on. Next run, I can run it again, but this time copy over. Now we copied over. So let's refresh the screen, and we reverted back. Yes, we copied over all the details. So now we are understanding what variable mean, what assignment means, how can it help us. We are assigning the same destination, which was the address, either from this direction or that direction, regardless what will be the user selection. And this help us to hit the database once, regardless which branch we are coming from. Right. So let's scan again the module one more time quickly, and then go for the challenge or the quiz. Every time you store data in a flow, it's perfect and never ever needs to be changed in any way. For sure not, because we are doing an automation in order to automate our life. So we are saying I need to give the user the choice, pick it from here or pick it from there, and so on. So no, that's pretty rare. Often you receive a record in a data flow, you manipulate it, and then you hit the database with it. And here, use the billing address for the shipping address. So if the shipping address, if you want to copy it over, you have the option. If you want to use the billing to put the shipping. So regardless of which branch you are coming from, it will be helpful. It could be a simple record trigger flow with a single update record element, but there is a hitch. Remember, when you update a case priority by setting the value of the priority value, you have just one value for the priority field. Priority, you set it to a specific value. How about in here, we are saying the shipping address can be coming from the billing address, or it can be coming from the stream. All right, now it's the time for the variable. That will not work. The value field requires a single data source. It can either this one or that one, the billing address or the input. Instead, you need an intermediate holding place, a variable that can accept shipping address from either of those branches. And you need a way to determine whether the user choose this or that. Accordingly, you will have this decision, which we determine together. Then you can configure update checkers to hit the database at the very end. That's where the assignment element come in. The assignment element assign the user's desired address to the variable, so the variable will be assignment element. As we mentioned, we have one variable and we can set the values as we want. To assign a value, you use the assignment element. In the shipping address, you change the value, a variable like the lunchbox, where you can populate it based on whatever you need. Right, priority equals severity 0. In the assignment element, you set the value of a variable by specifying the variable and its a value. So you have the variable, which you need to set, and you need the value, which you have, and then you put the operator to put it in there. And again, in many elements, the value field allow you to enter your own text, select existing resource in the flow or mix together. For example, if you need to have a hard-coded the color is, and then put a merge field in here or a value, a variable, you can still put them together. The color is, and put a color formula, and it is going to be red. So if it's red, it's going to end up with that. Now, they are emphasizing in the point that the record ID is special. Variable record ID, when a user runs flow from action button within the sliding page, Salesforce automatically looks for a variable called record ID and then bind the value. And we will learn more about it in the screen flow distribution, adding the button and all of these great stuff. And then we did all of these great stuff. Any questions? Sounds perfect, right? Woohoo! We got this unit. Perfect, right? So the new unit will be talking about formulas. Formulas will allow you to dynamic calculate a variable that you're gonna define within the flow. It allows you to concatenate a hard-coded value to one of the variables, like a global variable, current date time. It allows you to add 2 days to one of the date variables you have. It allows you like to calculate the discounted price after you have the discount value. So we will be exploring more about formulas. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to the flow we just built. We will need to add a new resource. You will find in here formula. The formula, you still need to put the data type for it. So in here, you will need to put, let's say we are adding to the same account description, we need to add to it that the shipping address added on this specific date type. So what I'm gonna do, I will be putting in here the shipping address added on, and then I need to concatenate. In order to concatenate, I'll add and then I need to add the date time. But the shipping, this is a text, and the date time will be a date time. So in order to append or make the date time to a text, you need to use a method or function called text value. And in here, the value will be, you need to go for the global variables, running flow interview, and then say, I need to put in here the current date time. So we constructed this date time, the formula, which will be calculated in the runtime while we are updating this flow. All right, so, but we still didn't touch yet the account. So how can we do that? So we are in here, we are doing all of these great changes. So I need to say in here, this is the account get from account. So we are in here, account get to account, and then we will say, get me the description. This is the account description that we need. If we use the equal, it will override the value we have for the account description. But what we need to do in here is to add. So when I do add, it will append to the existing description, this one. And what I need to append, I need to append this from change date time. Same thing in here. I will need to do the same. I will add an element in here, and this will be get account description, and I will be adding in here the formula. Sounds perfect. After that, we are not doing anything in here. It's the same variable. We'll just need to save and activate. And if we came back in here to the account, if you remember, we had this account before. And if we set debug, let's see what do we have here in the description field. So do we have the description is empty. So if I did in here, let me put the same account. It's a Y. Let me make sure. Yes. All right. And then I will be running and I will say use billing shipping address. In theory, when I come back in here and refresh, I will need to have in here the shipping address got updated. So this is 144. And then if I have in here and it came back and said run again, I will say street 1, Cairo, Egypt, blah, blah, blah. Now I should have an updated 144. After that, it will be this details in here. This got updated to the 455. Any questions? So far, so good? Perfect. All right, so we are in here doing the check syntax and we got the current date and we appending, and then we are adding this to do the concatenation and all the stuff we just did, and we are in the assignment, we are adding this to the current one. If you are using assignment just to combine two texts without any conversion, you don't need to formula to add space between the old and the new text. You can manually add a space before the new text in the value. For example, with a variable name answer, you can just enter answer and put a space before it. So we are good without having this space. Perform simple calculations. You can, as we were saying, if we have an amount and we need to subtract the discount, you can do that. If you want to add dates in here, since it's a date, add to, it will be adding 2 days. Calculate change automatically with formulas. When you created formula and symbol combine two text functioning the same way add operator works in assignment. So why didn't you use and symbol to attach the date directly to the description field? The and symbol work only in formulas, and the description is a long text field. So in the formula, Salesforce does not allow long text fields because they can easily exceed the calculation limit of formula. Makes sense. This restriction is an example of the limit complications in formula. So the formulas are risky. If you can avoid using formula, avoid using formula. Otherwise, if this is the only way to, in order to achieve what you are looking for, so feel free and use the formula. Any questions? So far, so good? All right, so last one. In here, we'll go, we will be creating a record trigger flow. So in here, setup, flow, new flow, record trigger flow. And we need to create one on the opportunity, and all record, a record is updated. So this is opportunity and a record is updated. And then we'll have all conditions. And what are they? Stage equal closed one. And then I have another one, name contains VIP. Okay. And then what do we need to do? Only when record is updated to meet the condition. So I need to put in here. So this is not every time. It's only when we meet the criteria, and optimize the flow action and the related records. All right. So we are good. What we want to do, we'll create a text variable. So we'll go in here. Variable of type text. Create a text variable, API name, default is VIP. All right, so VIP. Include the space after period. Do not run together. Awesome. Okay. All right. So we are doing exactly what's instructed. All right. And then add a get record element. So what we are trying to achieve, create a flow that add VIP to the beginning of the account description. when a related opportunity has a VIP in the same opportunity is set closed one. So if I have an account and then I created an opportunity and the opportunity has on its of, of its name VIP, I need to go for the related account and append VIP to the description. This is what we are trying to achieve. So I started in here defining all of these great stuff. I am creating this variable, which in here, VIP description. Perfect, done. So we are saying when the closed one and the opportunity name has a VIP, add get record. So I need to go and get the related account. So I will go in here, get record, and from get record, I will need to name it get account as instructed. And the object will be the account. And I will need to get the account URL ID equals opportunity account ID. All right, keep the defaults, and then I will need to after get add an assignment element. Okay, so I will do in here assignment element. I'll do exactly the same, and within the assignment element, I will need to say append the description VIP to the VIP description. Here we go, and then the variable will be VIP description added to the value, which is the account. All right, so VIP description equals added to the value, which is the account, which from the get account, and I need to get the description, account description. So what we are doing. And then after that, I need to update the account description. So I'll take this guy, adding in here, update account. Update related records. And this will be the triggering opportunity. And I need to triggering opportunity, and I need to have the account ID, and I will be just clicking outside. So it will be doing this for me. And the name is update account description. Okay. Update related opportunity, related record, triggering opportunity account ID, and to select the whole account, just to click outside as we just did. And finally, condition requirement to update none update or record is what instructed. Set field value. I need to set the description. What do I need to do? I will need to add the field description to the VIP description. That's it. All right, save. The flow will be add VIP to the description. Save. Awesome. So what we did within the opportunity, we are checking in here whenever it's a closed one and I have in the name VIP, I'm going and get the related account, go and put an assignment for the account description. I want to add the VIP description to the account description. And finally, I am saying in here, set the values, and that's it. Okay, so let's do it. Is there any question? Perfect. So we learned a lot of great things together. Let's see whether we're gonna pass the challenge. And if yes, we made it together. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. See you next week. Bye-bye.